Okay, everybody, hopefully you have fun doing your hide and seek. I know that some of you might be a little bit old for it, but I play hide and seek all the time. So hopefully you had some fun. Let's get the class started. Feet together. Go! Good year. Let's start with joint rotations. Hands on your waist, look down, up, side, side, down, up, side, side, arms forward, big circles. Arms backwards. Hopefully you guys are making the best of being at home, guys. I know they can get boring. If you really think about it, there's heaps of stuff you can be doing, not just to keep yourself occupied, but things you can be doing to help out your brothers, your sisters, even your mum and your dad. Like, have a look around your training area right now. Is there anything left out? Is there anything that could be put away? Is there any dishes in the sink or in the dishwasher that could be cleaned away? Like, there is so much stuff. When you think about all the people in your household or your family, how many ways could you help them out? And it definitely stops you from being bored. So in our house, I think I said last week, we cleaned out the games room and we've organised everything. My girls have cleaned up their room, so they've got everything in their place. It's a terrific thing to do, guys. It might not be the most exciting thing to do, but once you've done it, it certainly makes you feel better about things. Stretch towards your right leg. And towards your left leg. Back down to the middle. Okay, let's start. Feet together. Yeah! Good year. JMA. Ready, position. Horse riding stance, middle section punch, loud voice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and pose. Should be ready, position. Feet together. Yeah! Good year.
Okay guys, so now we're going to go through your boxing element. We've got grading around the corner, so you want to make sure all your basic techniques are right, so you've got a really successful grading. Okay, so we're going to start with your jab, cross and hook. Obviously, we start your guarding stance, you want to make sure that you're stepping for the jab, keeping that heel up. Then when you throw your right cross, you're going to drop the front foot, lift the back foot up as you throw the cross, keeping this hand up. And then when I throw my left foot, both feet turn the way that my fist is going and my front heel is up again. So that's what we're going to focus on today. The heel up for the jab, the back heel up when you throw the cross, and the front heel up again when you throw your hook. Okay, so we're going to demonstrate that with you guys at the same time. Okay, so everyone go into your guarding stance for me. Start bouncing on your toes. We're going to freeze when I count 1. Ready? And 1. Freezing that jab. Make sure your right hand is up. Make sure your front heel over here is in the air. Beautiful. And 2. Twist. Good. Make sure that back heel is up. And now your hook. 3. Make sure that front foot is twisted again. Okay, back to bouncing. One more time. 1. Make sure that front heel's up. 2. Make sure that back heel is up now. And 3. Very good. Okay, start bouncing. So now you guys are going to try and throw your punch as fast as Mr. Duncan, quicker than Mr. Duncan. Ready? And 1, 2, 3. Good. Back to bouncing. Make sure you're using them legs. 1, 2, 3. Bounce again. One more, guys. So you're going to be Mr. Duncan now. 1, 2, 3. And time. Shake it out. Very good. So that's your drills. I want you to practice now for the next couple of minutes by yourself. See if you can make sure you're stepping strong and you're driving through your legs. Okay? Keep practicing. We'll see you in the next video. Go.
Okay guys, so now we're going to do something a little bit different for blue belt 1s, blue belt 2s, blue belt 3s. This is your boxing drill, but I'm inviting white belts and yellow 1s, 2s and 3s to have a play around with. Have a little bit of fun. So the first drill for blue belt 1s is jab, evade, right cross. Now when I do my evade, I want to make sure that my focus really is in loading up my right hand. Yes, I'm pulling my head out the way, but really I want to have my intention to be firing up that right. If I do this, 1, and then pull my head back and then try and fire, there's nothing on the back of this. So it really looks like this. In with your jab, pull your right hand back and fire it. Making sure you're doing all the things that Mr. Mullen said in the last video. You've got your heel up on the jab, you drop away, and then you twist the right heel for the right cross. In with your jab, out, right cross. So you can spend a little bit of time on that one. If you want to, you can pause the video and practice this one. Next one is for blue belt 2s. in with your jab, slide away and cover, in with your jab, twist right cross, bounce, in with your jab so your heel is up, slide slightly out with the cover, back in with your jab, heel up, and twist for your cross. So you can practice that one as well. Now for blue belt 3s, your drill, in with your jab, slip away, right uppercut, left hook, right cross. So you can bounce, in with your jab, heel up, slip down so your left shoulder is closer to the target now. Twist, right uppercut, notice my back heel is turned. Left hook, right cross. Now, blue belt 1s, 2s and 3s, you've done this drill a million times. I want you to make sure you're ticking those boxes. Get all the small details correct. Whites and yellow belts, have some fun and see how it goes. See you in the next video. Okay team, for the next section of the training, you need to get yourself a broom or maybe your bow staff if you have one already. And on that broom or bow staff, you want to put a mark at the bottom, in the middle, and the top. Make sure you check with your family first. You can do this with a texter, or you can do it with some tape like we've done here. Pause the video, and then come on back with your training piece. Okay everybody, so in this drill we're going to go over the finer details of going from a front kick foot position to a band or chagi foot position and then transitioning from there into a yop chagi foot position. Now, the reason this is a great drill to do all together is in transition from here to here to here is you really start to understand the different body shapes that you have to make to execute the kick cleanly. A lot of times when we find yellow belt 3s transitioning up to a blue belt 1, their yop chagi side kick kind of looks similar in the way they chamber it to a band or chagi. So in this exercise, Mr. Molin's going to show you clearly what the difference is between the 3 shapes. Okay, so Mr. Molin, get you on the guarding stance for me. I want you to hold up chagi position 1. So you'll notice here Mr. Molin's bottom foot's turned about 45 degrees. That allows his hips to travel just enough to be able to execute a clean kick. And then from here he's going to shift into band or chagi. So position number 2. So the bottom foot's turned all the way. His foot, knee and hips are at the same height so he can execute cleanly through the target and back. Position number 3 is now yop chagi. You can see that what you can see is Mr. Molin's brought his knee further across his body. And when this kick comes out, it's kind of like starting a motorbike. It drives from the knee and then shoots back in again. So 3 very, very different shapes. Now what I mentioned before is a lot of yellow belts, they will form their up chagi or their band or chagi, they'll flick it, and then a yop chagi kind of looks similar. That knee doesn't cut across the body. So I want to show you again the difference in between a band or chagi and a yop chagi position. So can we do band or chagi again, Mr. Molin? Hold there. You'll notice the knee is fixed, the foot flicks, and it comes back, but the knee hasn't moved. For yop chagi now, this knee's going to drag all the way across your center line. And now the whole leg fires out, and the whole leg fires back again. So what we were asking for yellow belts and blue belts, we want you to play around with the transition. Do as many band or chagis and transition into yop chagis as you can to make sure it's clear the body shape you have to have for both of those kicks. Good luck with this one, guys. We'll see you in the next video. Okay guys, so hopefully you've got your training partner now and they're holding your broomstick or your bow staff with the tape or the markings on it. Now if you're the same height as the bow staff or the broomstick, then your training partner can leave the stick on the floor. Mr. Molin's a little bit taller, so what I want to do is I want to bring my bow staff or my broomstick up so the top tape is in line with his eyes. And what I'm going to ask Mr. Molin to do is twist into band or chagi position and touch the bottom tape, the middle tape, and then the high tape. Let's see how it goes. Bottom, middle, and high. Very good. That's a fairly basic exercise for, let's say, a blue belt, 1, 2, or 3. But for yellow belts, yellow 1s, 2s, and 3s, I want you to really focus on this. When I first started teaching with Mr. Molin, he used to do this for hours every day before training. That's why his kicks are so precise. Now, if it is easy for you to go from knee to waist to head, then you can play around with it and say, well, let's mess up the order a little bit. Let's try bottom first, then top, then middle, Mr. Molin. Go for it. Bottom, top, then middle. Easy again. So what if we did bottom, middle, top, top, middle, bottom? Let's try that. Twist. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now, you can practice this for as long as you want to, and make sure you've got proper techniques. You turn the bottom foot, you you're also extending the foot out and snapping the foot back to your backside before you try for the next height. Don't rush the kick. Don't cut through and try and kick fast and then retract it. You've got to get your balance first. For blue belt 1s, 2s and 3s, you can try the bandal chagi one, but we also want you to practice your yop chagi side kick with a bladed foot. So we do the exact same thing. Mr. Waller's going to chamber the side kick up, and he's going to touch the knife edge of his foot down to the first tape, then bring it back, knife edge to the second tape, and knife edge to the third tape. Now that last one's going to be tricky because the higher you go, the more your foot wants to roll out. And again, blue belts, if that gets tricky or if it's too easy for you, you can reverse the order. You can go up and down. You can try 20, 30, 40 kicks before you drop the foot down. I want you to spend a good 5 minutes on these exercises to check your basic technique before we move on to the next one. So at this point, what we want you to do is go straight to your white belt training online. Now, your family will have the logins. And if you haven't had a chance to look at it yet, this week is going to be critical for you to go online and look through your patterns. Now, I know that there's a few of the younger ones who struggle with their patterns in class, so you need to make sure that this week, Monday through to Friday, that your focus is making sure you do your pattern 2 to 3 times, at least 2 or 3 times a week. So that would be like 9 times in between now and Friday. When you click onto your login on white belt, you can see your pattern done forwards, with the instructor facing you. You can also see the pattern done backwards with the instructor facing away, which means you're turning the same way as your coach. And there's also breakdowns of particular sections of your pattern, which will show you where your coaches know that people get stuck. For example, on yellow belt 1, on that transition with the opposite block. So there's lots of key areas that myself, Mr. Jenkinson, Mr. Duncan, and Mr. Mullen know that you get stuck or you might struggle. So we've filmed very specific videos to break down those sections. Please do your work, guys. We're looking forward to seeing you all at Gradings on Saturday. Make sure you put the work in.